Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're taking a deep dive into an absolute technological thriller that's unfolding right now in South Asia. We are looking at Bangladesh's sweeping 2026 gambling crackdown. And listen, this isn't just about changing a couple of laws on the books. This is a massive, high-stakes digital cat-and-mouse game between underground cyber syndicates and elite state police forces. It's fascinating, it's complex, and it is totally reshaping the boundary between cybersecurity and everyday digital life.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap for today's explainer. First, a modern gambling law. 2, severe penalties and fines. 3, cracking down on ghost sims. 4, DB police trap operations. And finally, 5, the privacy and rights debate. Let's get to it.
Section 1. A modern gambling law, closing the digital loopholes.
Now, to understand why this is happening right now, you really have to look at the money. We're talking about an estimated capital flight of 5,000 crore taka. To put that into perspective, that's roughly 600 million US dollars, just draining out of the domestic economy every single year. This staggering financial hemorrhage, combined with a growing domestic addiction crisis, essentially forced lawmakers to completely overhaul the system. You see, for literally over a century, authorities relied on the archaic 1867 Public Gambling Act. But that old law only covered physical spaces, like backroom card games or dice tables. But today, betting happens on smartphones. So the new 2026 Gambling Prevention Act officially criminalizes virtual casinos, the use of VPNs to access offshore mirror sites, and even cryptocurrency wallets tied to betting. They are finally closing the loopholes that these digital syndicates have been exploiting for years.
Moving on to Section 2, severe penalties and fines, high stakes for digital betting.
Well, when you're dealing with hundreds of millions of dollars in digital money laundering, a little slap on the wrist basically just becomes the cost of doing business, right? So the absolutely crucial point here is this staggering new number. Under the new law, a massive new penalty has been enacted. We're talking about a fine of up to 10 million taka, that is 1 crore, and up to 7 years imprisonment for engaging in online casino gambling or being involved in related activities. That includes those who operate, promote, or just participate in illegal online casino activities. The stakes for digital betting have literally never been higher.
Let's actually break down how these penalties stack up. If you look at conventional, physical gambling, it carries a 2-year sentence and a 200,000 taka fine, but look at the wild disparity with the new digital crimes. If you're participating in online gambling, you're looking at 5 to 7 years and that 10 million taka fine we just talked about. Operating the platforms, that bumps the fine to 50 million taka. And if you're part of a syndicate engaging in organized gambling and money laundering, you're facing up to 10 years in prison. The digital arena is bringing completely unprecedented heat.
Section 3, cracking down on ghost sims, the telecommunications nexus.
So, here's the thing. Online casinos rely entirely on mobile financial services, apps like Bcash or Nagad for deposits and withdrawals. Because of this, the actual battleground for law enforcement has shifted away from the gambling websites themselves and straight into the world of cellular identities. To bypass verification for these accounts, syndicates use what are called ghost SIMs. Basically, a ghost SIM is a pre-activated SIM card that's registered under stolen or fake biometric data. It's like a digital disguise. Authorities realized that to stop the money, they had to stop the ghost SIMs. Everyday telecommunications have essentially been turned into a giant digital dragnet to catch anyone trying to mask their identity.
Let's see how this builds. To combat the fake SIM issue, the telecommunications regulator, the BTRC, rolled out the National Equipment Identity Register, or NEIR. This whole thing started back in August 2019. By December 2025, they went ahead and auto-registered all existing phones. But as of January 2026, strict enforcement kicked in. Now, every single new phone must be biometrically tied to a citizen's national identity card. If a device has a fake or cloned IMEI, it is instantly blocked from the network. No questions asked.
But authorities didn't just stop at tracking the phones. They targeted the SIM cards directly. Authorities are now conducting aggressive trap operations and actively tracking locations to arrest both those who sell unregistered SIM cards and those who purchase them. And the penalties for this? They exactly mirror the severe new gambling laws. That's right, dealing in these unregistered SIMs means you may face up to 7 years of imprisonment and a fine of up to BDT 10 million.
And listen, we aren't just talking about a few shady deals on a street corner. Look at the staggering digits from these recent police raids. In January 2026, a raid in Uttarakhand seized over 51,000 unauthorized SIMs. Think about that volume.
Then in June, another raid in Dakshin Khan pulled in over 21,000 SIMs, alongside massive multi-port SIM boxes and illegal VoIP gateways. These are massive industrial-scale black market telecom hubs operating right inside Dhaka, and the authorities are systematically tearing them down.
Section 4. DB Police Trap Operations, the cat and mouse game.
The Detective Branch, or DB Police Cyber Team, is currently deploying incredibly high adrenaline, real-world enforcement tactics to hunt these operators down. To really understand how effective this is, just check out this intercepted message from an underground online syndicate operator who goes by the name Kalavin. They wrote, quote, "The DB Police are tracking locations and making arrests. Because of this, we are working with a very high level of confidentiality, which is our currently safety so low." End quote. That message brilliantly illustrates the absolute chilling effect the DB Police's advanced geolocational tracking is having. The syndicates are feeling the heat, for sure.
So, you might be wondering, how exactly does a DB trap operation actually work? Honestly, it's like watching a modern cyber heist in reverse. Step 1. The DB cyber unit tracks suspicious mobile financial service transactions. Rapid microdeposits moving to a single node. Step 2. Undercover officers secretly infiltrate the syndicate's invite-only Telegram groups, pretending to be players or subagents. Step 3. Once a transaction is initiated, boom, they geolocate the agent's exact physical coordinates using cell tower triangulation and IP tracking. And finally, Step 4, they raid the physical location while that digital transaction is literally still active.
This exact trap operation methodology is what led to a massive bust in May 2026 across the Uttara and Turag areas. The DB cyber team executed sudden, coordinated raids that completely dismantled a premier online casino ring. And they didn't just catch the local operatives handling the SIMs, they also arrested 6 Chinese nationals who were running the technological and financial back end. It was a huge win, effectively cutting off a major international money laundering channel.
Section 5. The Privacy and Rights Debate, Balancing Security and Liberty.
Now, what's really interesting about this whole situation is the fallout. While these aggressive trap operations are clearly dismantling criminal syndicates, they've also sparked a profound societal debate regarding the new powers granted to the police. Specifically, we have to talk about Section 15 of the new Act. It authorizes warrantless street searches. In practice, this means DB officers at street-level checkpoints can legally stop you, demand access to your smartphone, and conduct an immediate digital forensic inspection. Just having an unverified VPN or a casino app on your phone is considered prima facie evidence. That can lead to your immediate arrest right there on the spot.
Now, the government's stance is pretty straightforward. The sheer scale of the threat requires these exact extreme measures. Home Minister Saladin Ahmed defended the provisions, stating clearly that, quote, "rapid enforcement is necessary to curb online gambling effectively." From the state's perspective, the rapid technological expansion of digital fraud and money laundering presents an existential threat to the nation's financial stability. They argue that requires immediate policing tools.
But of course, on the other side of the aisle, there is deep, deep concern over granting police unchecked powers. Opposition MP Akhtar Hussain highlighted this complex debate, arguing that, quote, "provisions allowing authorities to conduct searches and to block websites without a court order could undermine people's rights." The opposition's fears that bypassing judicial oversight and magistrate approval for device searches could very easily lead to the misuse of the law against ordinary, everyday citizens.
And honestly, that leaves us with a really profound question to think about as we wrap up today's explainer. Where exactly should the line be drawn between stamping out cybercrime and protecting our digital privacy? Bangladesh is writing the modern playbook on aggressive cyber enforcement, but it forces us all to ask what liberties we are willing to trade for digital security. It's a fascinating, highly complex situation that is still unfolding right now. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into the source material, and keep